Okay, so it's funny. Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael, and today we're discussing the Bitcoin halving. It's funny because every single website that's showing the Bitcoin halving countdown is different. One website, as of recording right now, says 56 minutes and a couple seconds, right? My favorite website, the one that I use, I just always use this one. I remember I used it for the last one. I think it was this website. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think it was this website that I used for the last halving. Anyway, so this one says 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go, and it is 6:21, 25 seconds, 26, 27. So it is happening. Now, the reason there's such a discrepancy between these websites, and why some websites said 2 days, one said 0 days, and one said 3 days, and it's because you don't know the exact time that this is going to happen. Now, different websites, for whatever reason, I don't know why there's such a discrepancy. I get, 10 minutes an hour, whatnot, but anyways, so the Bitcoin halving is monumental. It happens every 4 years. It's cyclical. This right before and right after, usually. Well, maybe not like right before and right after. It takes some time, but there's pretty massive price action. And we are all waiting for Bitcoin to hit $100,000. And there's great potential for it to actually happen this year, or potentially at latest early next year. So what we've got going on here is we're waiting. We're waiting for the Bitcoin halving to happen, and based off of this countdown, by the time I'm finished with this video, it's already happened. It goes from 900 Bitcoins that are able to be mined per day to 450, which means it becomes rare. And eventually, this keeps going on and on and on, and the mining difficulty goes up. And this time, it's going to be a little bit muted because of some macroeconomic events going on. And also, these last 2 weeks, the S&P, the Dow Jones, the stock market has been, a little down. Crypto has also been down. Crypto fell quite a bit, but it did recently rise, just very recently, because of the hype regarding around this. Not a huge rise, but people are excited. The fear and greed index, well, people are still greedy. We want that money. We want the profits. And basically, right now is the Bitcoin halving. Woo! Based off of this countdown, but we don't know because the problem is it's not like, oh, okay, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, boom, it's happened. You kind of wait, and it's all computers, and there we go. Randomly it just appears, and, the countdown goes to 0, and you don't really know if it happens. So maybe it happened now. Maybe it happens next minute. Who knows? But once it does, essentially, you get 450 Bitcoins up until the next 4 years, and then it goes down again by half. And it keeps doing that for like the next 100 years until eventually every single Bitcoin on this planet is mined. And it will become even rarer because there's a lot of people who will be deceased with fair Bitcoin holdings that will not put that in their trust because maybe they weren't planning to, escape this life. And an accident happens and their next of kin get nothing. And people aren't able to break into the wallets, at least for now. Maybe in the future, super quantum computers will be able to. But for now, there's a lot of just money stuck in the ether space. You got, for example, my Ethereum wallet from many years ago, which I think I sold for $1 because I think at the time it was worth like $300, and then it went up to like over $1,000 in valuation. And right now, actually, that was back. Yeah, it's like probably worth a fair amount of money. I can't remember. It's probably worth like $2,000 or something. That's just floating around because I forgot the password. I was one of those silly buffoons that forgot their password to one of their wallets. I had too many wallets, couldn't keep track, and for whatever reason, whoops, I might have some Dogecoin just chilling around on a wallet, and that could be potentially worth like 5 figures. I have no idea. I don't know. I can't figure out where these hard drives are. Typical same story, right? It's crazy how often this happens, but it's not like life-changing amounts of money. Although right now for me, it would literally be life-changing amounts of money. For me, for my situation, a couple grand would be nice, but it is what it is. Anyways, I sold that wallet. With the potential password combinations for that Ethereum. Like that one, I tried everything, and I thought I was pretty close. I have no idea, but this is what happens when hackers cause you to change your password constantly because, your data gets leaked everywhere. So you keep making these super complex passwords, and then you write them down somewhere and then forget where you even put that piece of paper, and then you're just SOL. So anyways, Bitcoin halving is here, probably, definitely, most certainly by the time you watch this video tonight. It was planned Friday night or Saturday morning. Well, here it is, Friday night, and it's happening. And from this point forward, we're excited. There could be bullish news. I wish I was investing in Bitcoin. I don't have any money to invest in Bitcoin. But if I did, I'd be chilling. I would have invested a little bit ago instead of just buying and selling for like 15 bucks profit. But I would certainly get some Bitcoin if earlier. Maybe now, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a good time, if it hits 100K. It could always go down, but one thing that's happening is also there were some updates regarding it. So this halving's not going to be as crazy as the other halvings, but it's still a halving, there's money to be made, right? All right, I literally just paused and I want to see what the website said, and it reset the clock another 2 minutes. That's funky. I went on CoinMarketCap and there says 46 minutes. I went on another one. That one says 46 minutes. So some of them are actually in conjunction with one another. But yeah, it just depends on how many more blocks are how many more blocks need to be mined before this main block. And each one, it could be 9 minutes, could be 15 minutes per block, could be, 6 minutes. It all just depends. And so the Bitcoin halving, what's interesting to note here is that approximately $10 billion will be lost. After each halving, that's what analysts estimate, that miners, all these miners going out of business, these costs that go up, there's a lot of facilities that will just, it's too expensive to run. So there's that one point. The other point is right now, this acceleration, the pre-halving acceleration, the hype around Bitcoin, at least while it lasted. Right now, we're in 63, 64 territory. But when we did hit over $70,000, when we were, like a month ago at 73,000, that accelerated. People were expecting this to happen a little bit later, right? So usually it happens, it's a couple months later that this acceleration, this pumping starts happening after the Bitcoin halving. And the peak of it all is like 500 days after, 300 days or whatever. Well, at this point, we're talking, it could be even shorter than that. The peak could be, maybe 260 days from after the halving. And that'd be cool. But after that, it's cyclical again. So if you make your money faster and then we go into another crash, another bearish time, that's fine, because you're going to make your money. And this is going to be the cycle. It'd be pretty depressing if we hit 73 and that was the top. That's just, I can't imagine that being the case. It is probably going to go a lot further past that. Now, where does it stop? Does it stop at 80? That'd be pretty depressing. Does it stop at 100? Well, that'd be nice because we finally hit 100, but we wanted to go past 100. $100,001, right? No, but people are saying maybe 150. I don't know. It will take quite a bit for it to get there. Hopefully, I would love that, but we'll see. So JP Morgan analysts say that production costs, obviously, when difficulty goes up, the actual mining costs go up, and it becomes less profitable for all these organizations to keep their miners running. It's a lot of computational power, and you have these entire warehouses full of graphics cards and motherboards just running 24/7, and they're collecting this money. Well, some are, some aren't. Some are going bankrupt. So the electricity, it depends. Are you in an area where electricity is cheap, or maybe you're stealing electricity? If you're in a high cost of living area, well, good luck, because you're probably not making any money unless you have a giant facility, and even then it's difficult. So there's going to be some miners that go out of business after this halving. Now, it usually does take a little bit of time after the Bitcoin halving for the price to move. It could be up to a couple months even, where, maybe over the summer nothing happens. It could even go down. It could get worse before it gets better, as they say. Similar to when I posted the vitamin supplements, I've been on a lot of these posts, Facebook groups and Reddits and whatnot. And I'm feeling still not great, but, it gets worse before it feels better. That's what they're saying. So that's what's probably going to happen with Bitcoin. It could even go down to where the actual costs to mine it, maybe just a little bit above it are. And JP Morgan analysts are saying it's probably going to be around 42 grand. So that's pretty expensive to mine that, right? So obviously you're mining for a profit, and there's these expenses and costs associated with that. So we're a fair bit away from 42. I mean, because of those expenses, you might be at a higher point. Maybe it's like 45, 46, whatever. But we're in the 60s right now. So that's the worst it could go. It could go the other way. And then it suddenly pops off like crazy because it takes time. It takes time for all these things to develop, and it's also what's happening externally outside of cryptocurrency. You know, the markets could go crazy in September for whatever reason, and in October, November, right before the election. Hello. So there's a reason right there. There's a bunch of reasons stuff could happen. It goes up, and then crypto goes up alongside it. So it could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of months, but there's a fair chance it's not just going to be like, oh, okay, Bitcoin hit, $73,000. Last time around, we hit 69,500 because the first halving, you got like 5,000% returns. Second halving was like, I forgot, 2,000% returns. I think the last one was just a little under 600% returns, like 589% or something like that. So you have these diminishing returns each time. But if you still make 100%, if you double, I just looked up the actual returns. It was like 8,760 for the first time, like 2,700 and then 594%. So that's kind of cool. But anyways, if you like double your money this time around instead of tripling, quadrupling, that's still pretty nice because you double your money. If you have 10 grand, you come out with 20 grand, you're happy. That was an extra 10 grand that you might have made in 6 months for nothing, right? If you make 100%, if you make 50%, that's cool too. You're going to be happy with that. If you triple your money, fantastic, all the better, right? So if Bitcoin does dip, let's say into the 50s, no problemo. It's cheap. You buy some and then goes well past 100 grand, no problem. Then maybe you make even more money by, avoiding KYC AML and going down that route. But anyways, that is that. Just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. And what do you think? And that's that. See ya. Bye.